know that this is my destiny. I was at my lowest, he saw the best of me. All of my doubts are the rest in peace. Buried them deep, then I let God come work with the rest of me. Yes, I am blessed, never stress, disconnect from all my demons. They can never get the best of me. Truly blessed to be a...
Dead end. Dead end? Officer Fillmore, do you realize the importance of recovering that catalog of stolen term papers?
Do you realize your mama dresses you like a sofa? Representative Peabody.
You're opening up a door that sends you back in time to when people were allowed to have their kids in front of the television. When you could say, come back when the streetlights come on and no one would do anything to the children. When said children could watch certain cartoons like Rocket Power, Rocco's Modern Life, Ren and Stimpy, maybe not Ren and Stimpy, and of course, things from Disney Afternoons. This is the flashback door. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nomadic Reviews. Today, we are looking at something from yesteryear, from the don't you dare do that fucking joke. Yeah, we're going back to the 2000s, where we're gonna be looking at Disney's Fillmore. Disney's Fillmore ran for 2 seasons that ran for 13 episodes each for 26 episodes, but were canceled out before they actually did their full lineup of 39 episodes that were also going to wrap up the entire storyline of their middle school careers for ex-middle school's Safety Patrol. Yeah, great job, Disney, ruining several things like how you ruined Gargoyles from their 3rd season, didn't give us a conclusion for Weekenders, and still want to make us believe that we never had a Aladdin animated series or a Buzz Lightyear animated series, despite the fact that we're not stupid. Anywho, Fillmore, a show that was actually led by...
I'm insane like Orlando Brown.
Which you guys may remember from Major Payne, or doing guest spots in the Jamie Foxx show. Or as you guys know today, as broken child actor that people think is just a drug addict because they think that he just went stir crazy for no fucking reason, yet don't know the evils of Hollywood. Oh god, I could make a whole video about that whole thing. Ooh, we are not gonna go down that whole rabbit hole today. But also, joined at the hip with him for his female co-star is everyone's favorite, but controversial, Tara Strong. You guys may remember Tara from roles like... and also saying some stuff that kind of landed her in some hot water like, Jesus Christ, y'all can't just shut the fuck up on social media, holy fuck shit. Anywho, we're here to talk about Fillmore, so let's talk about it. We're gonna be focusing on the first 3 episodes overall for a big overview of the situation of the show. So here is just a synopsis using those first 3 episodes as an overarching thing, shall we? Long before we could appreciate stuff like Law and Order, Hercule Poirot, NCIS, Criminal Minds, or any of those crime shows, to be honest, many of us kids needed something to sink our teeth into. Luckily, thanks to Fillmore, we had those with various cop procedurals that dramatize the hell out of things that happen in our own schools, much like how graffiti, as well as the illusions of a parody of murder, is also now just vandalism. Not just any big thing, just, vandalism. Trying to do extortion here and there, and various other crimes like stealing private documents is also treated with a little bit more of a whimsical matter by exchanging that for the notion of test stealing is the same exact modus operandi, as it were. Giving it more of a child-friendly vibe for kids, where for the older generation, getting it more with the references to older cop media, but also with certain older generation references kind of goes a bit of a sophisticated way that you don't see in a lot of Disney media. Various notes like that were really planting the seed for people to understand cop procedurals, but using it in a child's lens to get you prepared to love cop shows. And it does it in an interesting way of using the Safety Patrol, which are just basically either hall monitors or just minor school police that answer to the principal, vice principal, whichever one have you. And so we follow the show itself from our titular character of Cornelius Fillmore and his partner of Ingrid Third. They go to ex-middle school, which no one really talks about how it is named after Malcolm X, revolutionary lead, never mind. So we're following from a 3-act structure that is announced by the narrator as showcased right here.
And now, Fillmore. Today's episode,
where they pretty much set the tone and cadence for what we're going to be introducing from every segment throughout the show so that we could understand the 3-act structure in a beautiful arrangement. From all the various supporting characters that we see from the Safety Patrol offices, the various guest stars that we have, like having Josh Peck and Kurtwood Smith in the first episode doing a Hannibal Lecter homage, if you would, to set the tone and cadence for certain villainous elements throughout X Middle School for the Safety Patrol, but also having some actual lead antagonists like Mae Whitman playing the official person from the first episode, and having Frankie Muniz in a few different episodes as either a minor antagonist, supporting person, or just the actual villain, depending on what episode you're watching. And it's honestly kind of interesting in and of itself that this laid down the groundwork for a few different Disney fans to become cop show or law enforcement show enthusiasts, where I think even certain people I grew up with actually now work with said studios to do scripting and certain, I believe, choreography for those shows, which is actually kind of interesting. I probably should hit them up at some point.
Facts. You were the one I was missing.
For some odd reason, for this segment on acting, I believe that this is oddly super strong for a Disney afternoon program, alongside stuff like Timo Supremo, Pepper Ann, Lloyd in Space, The Weekenders. Programs like this did not have a solid amount of acting to try to act so serious about the most mundane thing. Like, we would not care this much about people spray painting our bathrooms or walls for graffiti. We'd all just be like, yo, that's actually kind of pimp. No one was just like, oh, hold my purse, someone defaced the bathroom. You know how many people in middle school and high school actually deface bathrooms? A lot. Usually with various disgusting phone numbers, gestures, rating lists, and some crude stick figure drawings of things. No one was taking this seriously. But the sheer level of seriousness in the show was so endearing, it left me floored of like, Jesus goddamn Christ. You all are really out here making me super care that this one random person decided, hey, I want to just spray paint some toilets. Hey, I want to steal some pre-PSATs before people even go to high school, and various other crimes that are just not that deep when you're a student. When you're an adult, you're just like, oh god, that's actually a serious crime. There's gonna be a lot of money if you don't do certain things. But when you're a kid, you don't give a fuck, man. But they made you care. The ADR person had the actors in the booth making sure people cared for the utmost on this sort of situation, and it shows. Even with how they try to explore stuff with Orlando Brown's acting range, from how subdued he was here instead of when he was Eddie in That's So Raven or Sticky in The Proud Family. This one had him at his, I honestly think, most mature for an animated production with Disney, and that's saying a lot. And as for Tara is fine. I mean, it's not her best work. It's probably why people don't remember her as much as Ingrid, and probably remember her more for her other roles alongside stuff. Her being Tiny Tina, or that one rambunctious crackhead from Mortal Kombat 10. I don't really talk about... So, here's the thing, guys. Animation from this is weird to talk about because this is not Disney's usual wheelhouse. There are certain animation tubers that would go in length about the Disney afternoon feeling a bit different compared to what we've seen from other stuff on Disney's main platform, or different. ideologies of sorts and going in the vast arrays of what you need to know. And it would sound prophetic in and of itself, but I think for just Fillmore, if we were to just focus on this show, it doesn't line up with the other arrays that Disney wanted to build a brand of their usual styles. It felt more like a Sunday morning comic strip brought to life. Like if you were to make a grittier Peanuts gang of maybe Charlie Brown and Linus doing some undercover work in their schools while also having their own love interest to balance out of, you're supposed to take me to the dance, or my mom said we had a play date and stuff like that, just to kind of bring in that whole nice kid-friendly grit to then go into the whole affair. That's the kind of thing for Fillmore. It feels like it's being described. A Sunday comic of different strips here and there of the drama, the action, the overall essence didn't feel like a Disney package. It felt more like something that kids would be watching with their older siblings or reading along with their older siblings in comic books or on the Sunday paper after a long, long week. And it helps you unwind with just how different it feels from other Disney productions. And this is also during the same time that people had House of Mouse and The Legend of Tarzan before Edgar Rice Burroughs' estate pulled the rights away from Disney after various bad business decisions from the mouse itself. Writing for this is honestly not bad. This is going to be the smallest segment because there's not much to add here. It's not the typical Disney writing. It feels like something you'd get from Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon, but just slapped with the Disney logo. It doesn't feel like that whole hokey thing in most places, because it doesn't feel like a hokey Disney product. It feels like the start of something that was more real, more something accessible for the kids that the network wasn't known for in a lot of regards. They had moments, but not a constant flow of it, at least for a lot of productions that they weren't trying to shaft all the fucking time. Overall, I wanted to go into deeper things about Fillmore, about how it also ties back into the legacy of Orlando Brown, but that is a bigger video for a bigger discussion. And I've already had so many flub-ups that we've had to cut so many bad takes for me to do this. This is take number 7, so that I can be more coherent for you guys. And yet, the thing of it is, I enjoyed rewatching this show from start to finish, from some helpful sites that helped me get certain videos. And from doing so, I found myself honestly getting back something I've missed. And probably something I'm going to be caring a lot more this year, that I'm having a big revelation for. And that's that I want to do more fun productions so that I can have more fun with you guys. But still, this was fun. It was entertaining for myself. I'm gonna do more stuff about Fillmore in a few months for a bigger video. But for now, yeah, there's not much else to really get into overall. But I will say, if you guys wanted to have a nostalgia trip and you guys know how to find Fillmore, I'm not saying where to find it, but I'm saying if you find it, you guys will have a fun time just going through this tiny nostalgia capsule, just going through all those different things that you've missed. The random humor bits that we've done in the 2000s, how we looked at certain people back in the day for their overall performances, how we had Wendy Malick in pretty much everything that we loved across 3 different channels for most of people's childhoods before just kind of fading more and more away from Hollywood to focus on her own life, and allowing us to have a block where kids could just be kids and enjoy themselves in a way that felt more authentic than what we have today. Because, yeah, thanks to the streaming platforms, we have some stuff, but there was something magical about those days. And I think many millennials that are with me will understand what I mean. So, yeah. From all that flowery stuff I'm saying, again, if you guys can find a way to look for it and watch it, I highly recommend it. It's just 26 episodes, all pretty good, all pretty solid, very dated in its own way, but hey, nothing is gonna stand the testament of time to not feel dated and not feel like it's out of place. Look at most of the 80s films people are obsessed with, and how much we have changed. I'm still looking at you sideways, Trading Places. But that's it for right now. Tune in next time, where the following Nomadic Reviews episode that I'm going to be doing is a little bit later because no one told me this came out a few months ago. And I'm making up for it now by covering something that one of my favorite YouTubers actually created for themselves. And I'm hoping they do more of, to not only make an overarching full film, but maybe their own anime itself. So, Garant, if you ever watch this upcoming video, this one's for you, homie. But until then, you guys be good people, make great choices, and overall, just, let's have fun. Let's not try to tear each other down for having fun. Let's just, have more fun. Life's too short to be full of hate.